Mennyms, Chapter 14, Joshua's Bliss. At the beginning of March, another meaningful, marvellous letter came for Joshua. Mennyms wanted him back. "They want me back if I am available," he said happily. "And are you available after the shabby way they treated you?" asked Vinetta pointedly. "They did make you redundant, after all. Now they're having to eat their words. Serve them right if you did turn them down." Joshua looked uncomfortable. It would serve them right. They'd had 3 successful break-ins since he'd left, and goodness knows how many unsuccessful attempts. The electronic security system was expensive and well known, so well known that the criminal fraternity had learned how to cope with it. An empty warehouse is an empty warehouse. A machine is no substitute for a man. "But a rag doll is," Joshua had chuckled as he read the letter. Now, with Vinetta priming him to be spiteful, he wasn't sure what to do. "I did mention it to father," he said defensively. "What did he say?" asked Vinetta. "Pretty much the same as you at first. But then he was afflicted by a pearl of wisdom and told me I mustn't cut off my nose to spite my face." "In other words," insisted Vinetta, "I think he meant I shouldn't be hoity-toity about the job if I'd be happier doing it." "And I would be happier. I loved that job, Vinetta. There's not been a day since when I haven't missed it. My mug'll still be there, my Port Vale mug." Vinetta still looked doubtful. "Mother would like me to go back. I'd be making some money again, and I do hate sitting on the stairs brooding." Vinetta put her arm round his shoulder in a caring way. The 2 of them were sitting cosily in the kitchen. It was 3 o'clock on a bright but chilly afternoon. Out in the garden they could see Poopy pruning the roses whilst Wimpy was skipping vigorously on the crazy paving. From the breakfast room came the faint sound of music from Tulip's radio. The rest of the family were out of sight and out of hearing, each wherever they wanted to be, doing whatever they wanted to do. "Nobody makes you sit on the stairs," said Vinetta. "You could sit anywhere in the house. You don't have to take any notice of your mother, you know. She doesn't mean everything she says." "It's not like that," said Joshua. I like the routine. Working at night, resting by day, without feeling guilty." "Well," said Vinetta, "I suppose you're right. It's up to you. If it's what you want, then do it." Joshua gave a sigh of relief. I will do it. I'm to start on Monday night. We'll get Appleby to write a note confirming that I'll be there." He turned the letter over, carefully read it again. "Not a bad letter," he said. "Better than some we've had. Better than bombshells from Australia." They had not written back to Albert Pond, and in the weeks since his last letter they had had no news of his coming. They began to hope that he would not come at all. Mind you, they had still done a fair bit in preparation. The thick-necked curtains had been bought and put up in the windows. The light bulbs had all been changed. Joshua had his horn-rimmed spectacles ready, and Vinetta had her blue-tinted ones. They were still waiting for a pair like bottle bottoms to hide Sir Magnus's jet-black eyes, but the optician had told Appleby that he would have a pair in 2 or 3 days' time. Appleby was called down to write the reply, and she actually volunteered to take it all the way to the office for him. "Better than posting it," she said in an unusually cheerful voice. "You can't always trust the post to be on time." Her timing was very good. "Here," said her happy parent, fishing in his pocket. "See if you can spend that." Appleby grabbed the £3 coins with a grin. She didn't go so far as to say thank you, but to have her looking bright and friendly made a pleasant change. "I think she's improving," said Joshua as his daughter left the room. "Don't let her hear you," said Vinetta. "We've been hoping she'd improve for the past 40 years. I feel sorry for her sometimes. She can't help what she is. None of us can." Joshua made his way to the stairs again as soon as Vinetta started to put clothes in the washing machine. He sat there for an hour and a half, not so much brooding as peacefully meditating. In his fist he held the old pipe that was naturally never lit, but that fitted so comfortably in the palm of his hand that it was a real aid to cognition. Real aid to cogitation. "Yes," he said at last with pure delight. "Of course. I won't be able to have a beard sewn onto my chin if I'm working. Nobody in their world can grow a beard overnight. Charlie might just happen to notice it. I couldn't take the risk." It was the perfect excuse. If there was one thing that Joshua hated, it was having a beard sewn on. It took ages to do, hair by hair, and it was far from comfortable. Kate had never intended him to be covered in whiskers, and it is best to leave things as they were meant to be. End of chapter 14 of the Mennyms.